Welcome to War with a Mate. It's me, it's James.
It's me, Andy.
Here we are, both of us, just like you asked. You said, just bring the two of you along, we don't need anyone else's company, we just need you guys. We heard you, we listened, and to be fair, it's all we ever really do. We've had guests like twice, so I don't even know why people said that. That's wild.
I don't think they did.
Oh, no, sorry, I'm
listening
thinking
to
of...
the voices in your head again.
I am. And you know what? I think it was very sound advice. Because today, that's all we needed. You, me, the campaign for North Africa. What else is a better recipe for an episode of War with a Mate?
I mean, that is the recipe, yeah.
It is. Mix in a bit of a sprinkle of time sensitivity, because I've got a train to catch.
Oh, okay.
Remember that. I've got a train I need to catch. So we can't fluff this up with pointless conversation that just kind of drones on and on. That isn't about the game.
I mean, okay, it's you're missing the train.
How you been, Andy?
I mean, you literally can't complain, but fine. I've been good.
It's been good. I've had a busy week. Work has been, it's been wild. And I came here a little bit buzzed today because there were some work festivities, some drinks flowing, and I popped round, left that very early because, I don't have time for that. I've got the campaign for North Africa to play.
And how'd it go?
The game itself was, mixed bag, I would have to say. Because today we brought about the bombing of Upstage 3. The bombing over Fort Maddelenna and the somewhat surprise bombing, maybe, of my 4th Black Shirts and your 4th Indian division.
The 4ths were getting it.
It's the 4ths. All the 4ths. They've all been forthcoming when it comes to bombing. That was a play on words.
Was it?
Yeah, I said 4th several times, and I said it in a funny voice.
Oh, okay.
So, we played out that bombing, and I got some results that I would describe as mixed, primarily because I got all my bombs off, and I managed to pin everyone I was trying to pin. Didn't do it to the full extent. I could have pinned up to 6 battalions per bomb, or per bombing hit. Instead, I pinned 4 at most.
Yeah, 4 and 3, and then the other 2 were just individual infantry units. They were essentially auto-pinned.
Yes, turns out I maybe overcommitted some bombs, but I'd rather over than undercommit.
Yeah.
So I definitely pinned some of you guys, and the other ones I managed to pin to an extent. However, you also took on some of my fighters because one of your bombing runs intercepted one of my bombing runs.
Yes, so my close fighters split off and hunted them down. So we had another dogfight.
We did. We had a dogfight, and this time I was the one who was massively outmatched.
Yes.
I had 18 planes, 18 fighters.
I had 21.
And you won.
Yeah, I've got 4, you got 1.
So that means you not only had the excess already, but you also took out some of my guys.
Yeah.
So I managed to get very lucky. It was the very first...
Yeah, I thought that was going to set the tone.
It has previously. I was not likely to win that, but I did roll a 12, which was the highest I could roll and still win.
Yeah.
I had an option of 2 dice results, and that was the one I got. So I shot one of your fighters at the sky. I also thought that was going to set the tone for the whole thing. But turns out, no. That's a one-off. That's a one and done. Because for the rest of it, either survived or was downed.
Yes.
Something we will have to roll next session is to see if those down planes...
Make it back.
Make it back. Or rather, the pilots make it back.
I don't think either of us had any pilots go down.
No, I guess it's more just a thematic.
No, because if you get a 1, the plane limps back.
Oh, yes, sorry. Yes. And
1,
then the other
plane
one...
limps back. 2, the plane doesn't make it. The pilot, ejects and walks.
Yes. So that'll be interesting to determine. See if any of my pilots manage to make it back with a sense of vengeance in their heart.
I hope they don't.
I hope they do. So that's where we differ.
And then I got through and had a very unsuccessful run on your bombers.
Yes, you encountered my bombers. You had 6 attacks on 6 individual bombers.
Yep.
Not a single one shot down.
I think most of them I needed 30s. So it should have been about 50-50.
In fact, I believe one of my bombers shot one of your fighters down.
Yes, I think they did.
It was, again, the first one.
Yes.
So the first fighter dogfight and the first bomber versus fighter dogfight
played
out perfectly.
Well, in the second one, only a fighter went down. No bombers.
Yes. So you didn't stop any of the bombers. Of my 4 bombing runs, this was the only bombing run where there was a chance for you to... a harder chance for you to tip the scale, because for the other 3, if you'd intercepted them, all it would take is taking out one bomber,
plane,
and it would change the column that I was working off. Whereas with this one, I had a good margin for error, because these were a lot of smaller bombers. They only had bombing capacity of 4 bombs each.
Yeah.
So you'd have to take out a few of those in order to do that. But it worked out in my favour. You didn't take out any bombers anyway, and I dropped my payload. All went well.
So a lot of pins in the Fort Maddelenna region.
Yes, because you also dropped your bombs.
Yeah, I dropped them on your... What number black shirts are the ones next to Fort Maddelenna?
First.
So I dropped them on your first black shirts.
And my 4th are the ones who've ran off into the desert.
Yes, and they got pinned. I did 3 infantry units and 1 4 in the other, I think.
Yes, you've covered a few infantry units in each.
Yeah.
So
my thinking was infantry is the bottleneck on movement, because if a unit's pinned by air bombardment, it can only move half its CPA.
Exactly.
Which I'm hoping keeps those units to a sort of 2 or 3 square range, as a hex range.
Which is difficult because my black shirts are primarily made of elite infantry units. So the fact that you've managed to hamstring them means that you've regardless of the movement restriction, you've taken out the combat capability.
Yes.
Because if I can't get them there, I can't really fight effectively. And if they're pinned, they can't willingly engage in combat of their own volition.
Yes.
They need to be on the receiving end and defend.
Yeah.
And that's not great for anyone tactically.
No,
if you can only defend.
It's quite the opposite.
So I think what we have done with this bombing run is effectively delayed the Battle of Fort Maddelenna.
Yeah. I mean...
I think it's definitely pushed it back a bit. I don't think it's going to play out the way both of us thought it would.
No, it'll be a different beast.
It's no longer the overwhelming encounter where I rush you and destroy you at Fort Maddelenna, and then the 4th black shirts fuck around on the flank.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at how these units maneuver a very tough situation, because this also changes their supply functions. Because realistically, if my guys can't move around very well, that changes how well they can get supplied. Because the 4th black shirts are in the middle of nowhere. I was kind of depending on picking off some of your trucks to supply them.
Yep. Also, I think they shouldn't be able to get to that supply dump they're near.
I'll tell you now, they can't.
Yeah, because it's
their
more
capability
than 4
restriction
points away from.
It is, and they can't do it. So what you have done is you've stopped them from resupplying, and as well as that, you've restricted their combat capability massively. What I am happy about is that your 4th Indian Division, which were the closest division that was just solely near them, is also now pinned for the good most part.
Yeah, that infantry is also pinned, so they'll be not moving very far.
And they have a long walk across the desert if they want to get to the 4th black shirts.
Yes.
There's no tracks.
I was going to rush them over and probably push some of the infantry into a bit of decohesion.
Which I thought was the plan.
To try and grab those guys, but now I literally can't, so...
So I think I've saved them from an attack that they might have had a tough time with, but they will maybe start to starve next turn.
Really seeing the value of... Because I think it was last stop stage. Well, it must have been because it rained on the first one. We dropped quite a lot of bombs on... Well, you dropped a lot of bombs on a unit.
A shit ton.
Thinking you were taking them out toe-wise.
It was the Coldstream Guards.
Yeah.
I was getting my revenge on the Coldstream Guards.
Yeah. But it seems it's less of a... It's not about eliminating. It's like a pin in place. Well, you're given the pin condition. Yeah, it's really like a positioning thing rather than a damage thing.
Yeah, you keep them locked down. You don't actually kill them off.
Yeah.
Which is contrary to strafing.
Yes.
Which I only found out today when you were talking about your plan to strafe, which we will resolve next session.
Yes.
You are going to strafe some of my guys, and that actually removes toe points.
That does, if you... Yeah, you can strafe various targets. If you choose to strafe infantry, you can kill them. and remove toe. So yeah.
Which is wild. I think, realistically, we should probably just get rid of that rule.
No.
Right. Well, another situation where we're at odds and maybe we'll find some sort of like balance. We can do common ground now if you want, actually. It could be that.
Let's keep doing the rule.
So my common ground this week is that we should get rid of strafing. What do you feel about that, Andy?
I feel like if we can remove elements of this game, it's a very slippery slope before it's essentially a game of Snap.
Right, okay. Well, we'll put a pin in that for now.
Also, you'll be able to strafe me, surely.
Yeah, but you took a lot of my fighters away, remember? When you did this at Fort Maddelenna. That's why we're here. That's why we're fighting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a real son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm not strafing you with fighters, though.
Yeah, you're strafing me with bombers, which, if anything, I feel like is more insulting.
Yeah, I don't know why they're in the bombing table. They don't have a bomb rating.
I'll tell you what, Andy, it's probably an error.
It's almost it. They should probably have bombs like 10. They should have been absolutely smashing you.
Well, what was scary is seeing the massive, the huge difference between the tack air and maneuverability of my bombers that you were up against with your fighters.
Yes.
Because fighter versus fighter, the tack air rating, it tends to sit anywhere between sort of 2 and 5. 2 and 6, I think, is the biggest difference we've seen.
Sort of without pilots, yeah.
And then maneuverability for fighters, you're looking at 25 versus 32 is the biggest stretch. Then when it came to the bomber versus fighters, it was tack air of 2 base versus 6 sometimes for you. So you had 6 versus my 2.
One of them was 8.
Yeah, so 8 versus my 2. And then also maneuverability of 32 versus 9.
Yeah. The table caps out at a point where you get 5
points
adjustment, so you can't go beyond that, even if it's further. But yeah.
And you hit that comfortably twice during that encounter, and still didn't shoot down a single bomber.
No.
How does that feel?
Bad.
Yeah.
I do think it's a cool thing. The bombers get a tack air rating improvement as the more of them that are in a flight.
Yes, strength in numbers sort of situation.
Yeah, it bumped up 2, didn't it?
Yes, the scale I had, I think it might be 18 where it tips over.
Yeah, I think it might be 5 to 17 or something.
Sounds about right.
And then 18 plus is 2. You don't get 3 or 4 though.
And I had 27. Yeah. So that was a +2, which meant that my base 2 went up to a base 4, which was pretty good. Yeah. But again, when they have maneuverability of 9, doesn't really help. No. Means that I'm stuck up Schitt's Creek without a paddle because my paddles got shot down.
In this case, they didn't.
Enough of them got shot down. The paddles did.
Oh, yes.
But whoever was in the paddle,
canoe.
Matthew Lillard, Seth Green.
Okay.
From the film Without a Paddle.
I've not seen it.
Well, they're both in that.
Oh, okay.
So that
sounds terrible.
That's the reference. Well, I mean, they're both great actors. Are they great actors? Seth Green, yeah. You ever heard of a little program called Family Guy?
Yeah.
He's in that.
I know. He's heavily involved.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Yeah, he's bad in that.
Whoa, hold the fucking horses there. What? He's bad in Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Yeah, I highlighted that when we watched it.
Right, first of all, you can't have. We watched one episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer for yet another failed pilot podcast that we were going to do. And he's not in that episode. He's not in episode 1.
I've seen him in Buffy and didn't think he was great.
Right, you haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. Not believable. What does that even mean?
I just didn't believe him.
You didn't believe he was an actor?
I didn't believe he was scared of vampires.
He's not scared of vampires. He's doing a good job.
Oh, okay. Maybe I misread it.
So everybody who's seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer and knows Seth Green's character Oz knows that he's the most sort of laid-back guy possibly in the whole show. So if anyone's not scared of vampires, it's definitely him. So thank you, Andy, for vindicating the listeners.
Okay.
For vindicating the fans of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
It's fine.
Which is an incredible program, by the way. It's okay. It's possibly one of the best television shows ever made.
I'll
remove the possibly. It's definitely up there, top 5.
Top 5?
Top 5, comfortably.
I mean, you have a huge nostalgia boner for it, but it's not top 5 programs ever made.
Just because you're looking at my hard penis right now.
It's not that hard.
Just because you're looking at my kind of half-limp penis.
Yeah.
Don't look at it, all right? This is a podcast where we're talking about the campaign for North Africa, not where we're talking about how erect I can or can't get. Sorry, that wasn't a multiple choice question. That was me trying to focus on the topic at hand.
Were you?
Yeah. Trying to talk about the game, Andy. Come on.
Okay.
You know what? I've noticed this about this podcast. You always go off on tangents.
Yeah, that's me.
You always derail the topic. I don't know why.
You're doing that now.
I've got a train to catch, and you're talking about my penis. That's wild. Talk about your own penis, if anything.
That's outrageous.
You've talked about it before.
I don't like that.
Can't remember the episode, but you definitely have.
Probably. I've said a lot of bullshit on here.
We are quite known for it. But overall, this has set an interesting groundwork. We've only just dropped some bombs. That's kind of been the whole thing today. And we've got a little bit to resolve in terms of the strafing. But all in all, we've locked each other down pretty hard.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we both were successful in what we were going for.
So I think a big part of next session will be breaking down how the close quarters combat looks. The close assault is going to be massively changed. If it happens, it will happen to some extent, I would imagine.
Well, it's up to you, really, if you're going to push in or not.
I've been thinking about that the last sort of half hour since we've been wrapping up, and it has changed my mind on some aspects. I'm going to have to reevaluate because there's some groups that are pinned, which I can get to you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The CPA being halved means that I can't go all in. I can still barrage you because you didn't pin any of my guns.
Yep.
But I don't know. I feel like it could go bad. It could go bad because if you go in for close assault with your guys and I want to retreat, I can't.
You also might not be able to attack with your infantry.
I can because I can get through that hex. I just have to go one hex forward.
It's 5 CPA to attack.
Yes.
So if they're infantry, they max out at 10 CPA.
It's a clear. Oh god,
and you can only use half.
Clears a 4.
Yeah, and even just with the attack thing, you'd have to be
clears a 2. Sorry.
Yeah, but of your 10, attacking is 5.
Yeah, it's a 7.
And you can only use 5.
Yes.
So you could move up next to me and not attack.
And I guess be an idiot. Yeah. Oh, hang on a minute. But then you're pinned and you can't move if you're if you are in an enemy zone of control when you're pinned.
No, I couldn't move.
Yeah.
So
I could lock you in.
You could delay it a turn and lock it in.
Wow, there's a lot of thought to be had before the next session.
Yeah, I just realised that now that because of the way infantry works and the 5 attack, if you pin infantry with a bomber, it can't fight at all.
Yeah. Ooh.
You also can't choose to do offensive stuff, but
not with those guys anyway. All in all, it's changed. It's changed.
Yeah, that was quite a lot.
I don't like it, Andy. I don't like it.
I still think you're in a better position.
Well, that's an interesting point because we did put a poll up this week on the Instagram. We put up a poll to see what the thoughts are on who would win the practice scenario, the Graziani offensive. And 2/3 thought that I am going to come out victorious with this.
Yeah.
And only 1/3 in Andy's favour. However, I don't know that that's all there because I think I've, 1, messed up my truck convoys massively, and 2, stuff like this. I think you are making the better tactical decisions. I genuinely think that you've had a better handle on the tactician side of things. It's just that I've got the sheer numbers that are in the area.
I think maybe, but I've on like little moves, but what I've blown is ignoring Siwa and the initial move to drive forward with the 7th.
But ignoring Siwa, overall for a win condition, it's bad. But if I just have Siwa and everyone else is dead,
yeah,
it's not that beneficial of an area to have.
Yeah.
I think really Fort Maddelenna has become, we've talked about this last time, it's become the fulcrum on which the game is now balanced. Because if one side is pushed away from there, then that's kind of it. We've both got units, I've realised, when I was looking at the map today, rushing in that direction. You've got the 4th Indian.
Yeah.
I've got another 2 divisions of black shirts that are also en route.
Yes.
I've also got my 1st and 2nd Libyan divisions.
I mean, yeah, you've got a lot of stuff you can sort of bring to bear.
Well, my Libyan divisions, I think, are the answer to your 4th Indian division.
Oh, you're going to send them along the top?
It's more a case of, I think they are the counterpart to your movement, because they're almost kind of opposite sides, mirrored.
Like up a bit.
Yes, so they're up towards the north, they're along the coastline. I've got 2 divisions is the difference, but I'm also still hesitant to throw them straight in there, mostly because of stuff like today.
Yeah.
Where it can turn immediately, and when it does, it throws the plan out of whack, and I need to think this through. I need to think it through, because I've not been doing that.
Well, if you can get with your planes a pin off on a unit you're about to attack, it completely changes, because they can't take part.
I'd love to get my pin off.
Yeah, but, I mean, you did.
I don't want to get my pin off all day, every day, Andy. It's just not happening. I need a plan, and this has really fucked my plan, so I don't know why you've done this. Well, I know why. You want that Kinder Bueno.
Plan. Yeah.
You want that fucking Kinder Bueno at the end of the scenario. All in all, I think it's been just terrible behaviour on your part.
I'll accept the charge.
What is the charge? Eating a meal, a succulent Chinese meal. Ozzy Osbourne died this week.
Yeah.
Died yesterday.
I guess it's sad.
It's a shame. Prince of Darkness.
I'm a big fan of the Osbournes.
Yeah, all of them.
No, the show.
But they're all in there.
I know, I don't like any of them individually.
Well,
I just like the editing.
I saw Ozzy Osbourne at Download Festival quite a while ago, a few years ago. Was it 2017? 2018, I think it was. At the end of each song, he was on for 3 hours.
It's too long.
And it was about, halfway through the end of the song, he started saying, does anyone want to hear one more song? I'm like, well, at least one more song, buddy. You got another hour and a half. And he started dropping that in pretty much every song that he finished.
Did he want people to start going no because he was tired?
So he could go home. And then he played the song War Pigs for about 20 minutes.
That's weird because it's not a 20-minute song.
It's not. You're correct. It's about 6 minutes.
Yeah. That would be good. I do like Sova's stuff. I'm not a big listener, but...
Well, yeah, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm big into that kind of music, and I think he was a great musician. And we talked about this a bit earlier. One without massive controversy, which you don't often have for someone with that tenure. Usually
and that world.
Yeah, exactly. You usually get some unsavory characters in that kind of area, but from what I know, a lot of his controversies, and this is probably where I'm going to get corrected, and it turns out he's this horrible man.
He's a monster.
But from what I understand, his controversies are mostly around the sort of, obviously you struggle with substance abuse, and, he's been part of the sort of satanic panic back in the day, which I don't think is a controversy so much as a sign of the times.
No.
So, overall, yeah, I think it's a big loss.
Yeah. It's a weird thing where you're kind of rooting for, elderly people whose work you to die before anything comes out. Well,
I guess probably not that, because that sounds like they get away with it. That sounds like you've got a bit of a Savile situation.
You want them to be
you want to find out nothing was ever the case. You want
everything to wrap up and then not to be a thing.
Yeah, you want to find out, after they're dead as well, that turns out, no, they're actually fine.
Yeah.
They've died and no one comes forward because nothing bad happened.
Because that Neil Gaiman one upset me.
Neil, that's the thing. There's so many... Because I didn't know that he was behind Stardust. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Yeah.
With Charlie Cox.
Yeah, and it's got that... It's got a Narnia-style thing over the fence.
Yes, in Cornwall, I think it is.
Yeah, I remember... I've not seen that for a while. I remember that being fun.
I loved that film growing up. I thought it was an incredible film. Loved it to bits. And to be honest, hadn't really watched it a whole lot in recent years. But it had a special place in my heart. So when it turned out Neil Gaiman was a monster, found this out at the pub around the time it happened, and I was having the conversation at the pub, and the stuff that I was hearing, it's just skin-crawling sort of stuff.
It was also very horrible because it really adjusted a lot of the themes in his work, which had been about acceptance and gender identity and stuff, and then it's oh no, the guy who... A lot of this in a new light.
Well, yeah, whenever an artist has something about escapism and inclusion and getting away from the horrors of reality and into a safe place, and it's but when you look at that through the lens of grooming and being a predatory character, all of a sudden, the work is tainted, and it's not very positive anymore.
Yeah. That's why I love Terry Pratchett. He just wrote more books than most authors that were good and just was a bloody good guy by all accounts.
Yeah, I've not heard a single bad thing about him, apart from the fact he had horrible health. That's the only thing I can, I guess, criticize the guy for.
Yeah.
His health kind of fell apart. Oh, well, that's why this is a safe place, Andy, because here at War with a Mate, we lock ourselves away in a living room for hours at a time. We play a bad board game. The most controversial thing we do is Common Ground. And even then, it's usually for the betterment of mankind. So this place is a sanctuary. So don't you guys worry. When we die in 4 years, we'll have an untarnished legacy.
4 years. The tarnish will be that we didn't fit. We don't have a legacy.
The tarnish will be, I guess, whatever happens in 4 years. Whatever horrible travesty. Because we die on the same day. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, I'm not into that.
I had a word with Nostradamus.
Yeah, he didn't know anything.
He knows about us.
He was just writing weird stuff to criticize the government.
That's kind of what Common Ground is.
Oh, yeah. Maybe future generations will think we're true seers.
I don't think they will.
No.
I don't think future generations know who we are.
They're not digging this up.
Well, I think that's probably for the best. I think we just kind of accept this as being a bit of a crapshoot. Unfortunately, it's not all there. However, I guess if we were to try and build a bit of a legacy, we need to see what people do think. So maybe we should dip into the mailbag. There it is. He's holding up his finger. Bit of a delay. Oh, and there it is. Oh God,
You've made me look a fool.
it's all right. I'll edit it in.
Thanks.
I have control over that.
I know, that's why I think you're going to make me look foolish.
I'm actually going to put it in right there over that part there. It's all right. People already know when it's coming. You guys, we sort of spoiled it for ourselves there because it's already happened at this point. So, you've been sending messages left, right, and centre, and we do first of all have a bit of an honourable mention, in a sense, because our dear friend Matthew. Now, Matthew is an avid listener of the podcast, and we know that because Matthew he's a real stickler for the rules, and we love that. Because Matthew listens to War with a Mate.
And I think he's playing by himself?
He's definitely played parts of it, yes, because Matthew sends in occasional addendas to rules, and there's been some back and forth we've had with him. Very great guy, very in-depth analysis of the game. And Matthew, we know you're listening. We appreciate what you do.
Yes.
He will pick out some points. There'll be some back and forth, some discussion, and occasionally he'll point out some massive flaws that we've had. And he's done that again very recently. Because we've got wrong the repair rules for vehicles.
I don't know if... I think I just ignored them or something. But yeah, we just completely... We've both had it in our heads. You had to have a unit go next to them to recover them.
Yeah, so whenever we've been having breakdown in the desert, we thought we have to send guys out to get them. Turns out that's only the case if we're capturing enemy units. But if you have a downed unit out in the desert, that unit can actually just start making its way back. And that's something we didn't realize until Matthew sent in this message.
Yeah.
Because we were so scared of the notion of it. I think I mentioned this last week about my convoys, thinking that it's not worth sending guys out to go get the trucks. However, Matthew has got in touch and explained that when it comes to broken down units, they can move 3 hexes during the repair phase. The sort of towing element of that is self-fulfilling. So you don't need to do that. And Matthew even talks about his own convoys in his game, and that he has 32 Italian truck convoys, which makes me feel a lot better about my 15 truck convoys.
Yeah.
So all in all, once again, Matthew, you've saved my bacon here because you were also the same person who pointed out I've got a lot of my airfields on towns and burrs, so I can use the water there.
Yeah.
So Matthew is sort of the...
He's been helping you a lot.
Yeah, you need your own Matthew because he's been saving me because I've been making fucking mistakes left, right, and centre. Maybe we'll have to blacklist Matthew from emails when we play the full campaign.
No, why? We've just been talking about how useful he is and how it's good he's...
Well, at that point, we're no longer practicing, so we can't get in touch anymore.
Matthew, please keep getting in touch.
Matthew, you're on a timer, buddy. After a certain amount of time, you can't get in touch anymore. Same goes for everybody. We might just shut down the emails.
What are you doing, man?
It's called alienating the fan base. Don't know if you heard of it. It's fine. They love being alienated. They love playing hard to get.
No one likes being alienated.
It's hard to get listeners to this. That's why they're hard to get. No, let's get on to some actual mail, apart from people who are just correctly correcting us.
From a shout out.
Exactly. So let's have a little look here. Who we got? We have, first and foremost, Hayden. Do you want to take the reins for Hayden?
I've got that one up here.
I've just read his full name. We're going to have to bleep that.
Remember to bleep that.
Right. Okay, James, bleep that. Bleep that. I'm going to put a little reminder on for the editing. I've just done an Andy. I've just doxed somebody.
It's not an Andy anymore now. It's an Ussie.
Oh, dear. Sorry about that, Hayden, but it's okay. No one will know. No one will know because I'm gonna block that out. This is what happens when you go to work drinks before you come for war with a mate.
So, hello, Andy and James. Long-time listener, second-time emailer here. This summer, I've been traveling throughout Asia and Europe for the summer while I've been out of college for the summer. The episode has given me something to look forward to on the long flights and train rounds around the world, and I thank you for that. I also would like to applaud James on your taste in books, as House and Leaves is one of my favourite books of all time. Surely the characters in the books would have enjoyed it more if they had SPIs, the campaign for North Africa, to keep them occupied.
Damn right.
Anyhow, I have a question for you all that is twofold. Can you tie at the end of the game, and what will you do if it happens? Thank you both, and I wish you the best of luck on completing the game. Certainly, humbly and bravely, Hayden.
Well, thank you, Hayden. I won't dox you again, but I will say we appreciate the mail. A second-time emailer as well. We will happily take more than one email, especially when it's one that I enjoy because it mentions, one, House of Leaves, which is, again, my favourite book. You've heard about this last time. And secondly, it mentions the campaign for North Africa, which is semi-related to this podcast. So the campaign for North Africa is it's very important to us. Andy, I don't know what your thoughts are on that game.
Yeah.
I feel the same, buddy. I could have still been partying in the office right now. Could have been partying in the office. I'm here. When it comes to what happens when we tie, because it can happen. So if it gets to turn 111 of the full game, there is a chance to tie.
Yeah, we tally up victory points and stuff.
Yes, if it gets to that point, we tally up victory points, and there's a ratio of victory points, and it's based on a ratio of how many to what value.
It's sort of slight.
It's like a 2-to-1 to 3-to-1 kind of situation, and it does actually have a little caveat in there, which is for tie. It just sort of says what a massive waste of time,
which is correct.
So there is actually a bit of a caveat in there for if it's a tie. Richard Berg thinks that we've wasted our time, and we will also think we've wasted our time. I don't know what happens at that point. I think we just go out for the meal and we go Dutch.
No, we start again. I'll be the Italians, you be the Allies.
I see, tiebreaker.
Yes.
Best of 3.
Well, that is also the only way to find out if the game is balanced, is we both play both sides.
Are you Mendel? You fucking insane. You were doing this twice.
At least.
Right.
Best of 7.
Right, that's not... No, right, everyone don't listen to him. I'm also cutting this part out. You may as well be doxing. This is just absolutely bad form, bad behaviour. No, if it gets to a tie, then I
think it might be the funniest result.
It would be the funniest result. You'll have, I think, a final episode of War with a Mate where we
smash in the background.
You'll definitely hear. I don't know what is the sound of the campaign for North Africa being ignited. That's what you'd hear.
A gentle whoosh, and then ow, my fingers.
Yeah, you'd hear that. I guess some hysterical laughter, some crying.
The sound of a TV hitting the floor.
And then it just sort of trails out from there. And then you hear the outro, and that's it. That's how War with the Mate ends. So to answer your question,
bang, but with a whimper.
And fire. So to answer your question, Aidan, if we tie the game, which we can do, then it goes really bad for both of us very quickly.
I sure hope it's not a tie.
And the issue is, we'll know if it's a tie in the last few turns.
We might actually not, though, because there's all the guys who left and came back.
Oh god, there's so much stuff.
There's a bunch of. I kind of hope it's not. Because if it is a tie, it means we've had to work all that shit out. It's not just you're further across than me.
We need to figure out the ratio.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the answer to your question, I'm afraid, Aidan. We will have a bad time if we tie. But let's not think about
traveling.
That now.
Yep.
Yeah, but also, yes, enjoy your travelling. And you say you're travelling through Asia and Europe for the summer. Hopefully it's going well. We've been to Europe. We live there right now.
No.
Oh, sorry, am I giving away our location? The secret bat cave in which we record everything. Sorry, no, we're in Asia. There you go. That's bigger. You won't find us there. Well, thank you. Let's go on to the next. We have a message from Greg.
What's Greg got to say?
Greg is in Arizona. That's what he's put in the email. Greetings from the southwest corner of the US. I've been listening to you guys for a few weeks now. Sorry, just on episode 11 of the podcast. And for the first time yesterday, was listening while I was performing my own pointless endeavor and was struck by some similarities. Okay, well, episode 11, that's before we even really played the game, so let's see what the similarities are. I'm about 99% done with replaying the 1986 baseball season with AH's Status Pro Baseball. Okay. I started in 2017. Each of the 26 teams play 162 games. So 2,106 games in total. And each game takes about 20 to 30 minutes to play. Baseball is a sport that tracks every little stat, and then takes those to make new stats. For example, on-base percentage equals hits plus walks plus hit by pitch, divided by at-bats plus walks plus hit by pitch plus sac fly. All tracked by me in huge sprawling spreadsheets.
Those spreadsheets are going to be glorious.
Greg, do you want to come work for us? We can't pay you, but you're welcome to come along. All trapped with me in huge sprawling spreadsheets. I've learned not to bring this project up in polite conversation. Well, you're better than me, because I bring it up every chance I get. Even if it's tangential, it ruins conversation. So I just wanted to let you gents know that while the end is nowhere in sight, you might get there and look back on 8+ years of playing with some satisfaction. And honestly, regret, as it is part of my nearly daily routine. That being said, my commitment pales beside what you guys are doing, perhaps by tenfold. So don't feel bad if you eventually don't get to the end. The journey itself will be of some reward. By the way, since I have to picture you guys somehow in my head, I've chosen Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Keep up the good work. Greg in Arizona. Well, first and foremost, Greg, wow. It's such a beautiful experience putting this out there to hear about these people who are tapping into war with a mate because they've got their own kind of psychosis going on. Because we've had people message in that seem to be experts on Heathcliff comics, people who are playing the game solo for the fun of it to figure out the rules, and now somebody who is for some reason torturing themselves through the medium of baseball replays. So it's a beautiful little community we've fostered here. Just all of us morons who've decided to play, not even play, just document things disguised as games. It's genuinely confounding, and it's really heartwarming as well. And Greg, I really hope this goes well for you, because it sounds like you found your own little niche passion, which is also spreadsheet-based. We can relate to that.
Pretty cool, actually.
I think, well,
I'd be interested to see the results of it, like the breakdown of, like, who wins that season.
That's another good point.
Every game.
Because this is another alternate history thing.
Yeah.
So if you can, Greg, we'd love to have a bit of a follow-up to let us know what the sort of reality looks like.
He said it was like 99.9% done or something, didn't he?
99% done. So if you could give us an idea, Greg, as to how accurate this is
who's
to real
going
life.
To the World Series?
Yeah, because presumably you've probably got the actual stats as well. If, based on the kind of guy I can gauge you are here, Greg, I think you also know the real stats. So if you could compare those, fire them over to us, roughly, we'd be interested in seeing that.
In fact, we'll take the stats... And
what are you going to say here?
We'll release them week by week as if the league's going, and our fans can have a fantasy baseball league based on the results of this guy, of his project.
While that does sound like a funny spin-off, our plate's kind of full.
What, to do a fantasy baseball league
about a fantasy baseball league? Oh, it's just... At that point, Annie, it's a hat on a hat. I don't think we need to do that. We've already picked our ridiculous endeavor. We'll leave this in Greg's wheelhouse, because he's the expert on this. But if anybody else has any wacky side projects that are going on, whether it's something you've done or a friend has done, please let us know, because it's lovely to know we're not on our own here. And I feel like stuff like this, it doesn't get the airtime it needs.
Yeah, and it's cool to find out about, because... I would never have known a guy was doing this, but it's cool that he is.
Because what drives someone to do this? We found out about this game. It's a fairly well-known game. It's just there's not many people stupid enough to actually try playing it. Again, anyone playing this, you're not necessarily stupid, but it's you do know something's going on.
You've
got
taken
something
on. It's a lot of time that could be spent elsewhere.
Yeah, you've got something wrong. And the baseball thing is it's beautiful. It really is. And when it comes to how we look, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, Andy,
it's
what do you
actually
think?
Not a bad.
I think that's weirdly accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's Simon Pegg and Nick Frost from Wish?
Yes, I think that's yeah. You've actually kind of sniped it there, Greg. Maybe we'll do a big face reveal, shall we?
No, I don't want.
Big face reveal when Greg finishes his baseball series. We want cards though. We want to be put on cards, baseball cards. By the way, Greg does follow up shortly afterwards, a couple of minutes after the first email, adding that the regret that he mentioned with it being part of his regular routine, it's regret that it's almost done, not regret in doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
And I will have that, because I'll be honest, today I did leave that work event a bit early, had a few drinks, came here, and I was looking forward to playing this to get away from the downtrodden nature of work this week. Work has been a certified nightmare recently, and it's weird that this is my escape. So if anyone else has a weird escape that they get away to, whether it's baseball or campaign for North Africa, anything else, fire over a message. Would love to hear about it. It's genuinely exciting to hear when other people have whatever's wrong with us wrong with them. We don't feel alone. The email address is info@warwithamate.co.uk. The Instagram is warwithamate. And we have the website, which is warwithamate.co.uk. There's a web form on there. It's kind of broken a little bit. We don't get many notifications from it. It doesn't come through the same way.
Yeah, the notifications do. If you send it, it will arrive. I just won't get a notification, so I have to manually check.
So yeah, the email's the best way.
Yeah.
But fire anything over. Anything you want to have read out, or anything in general, just fire it over. But that's it for the mail.
Nice.
And with the end of Telegram comes, of course, Andy's history segment.
Indeed.
And it is surely the 28th Māori.
It is. We're continuing with these guys.
Oh, come on. Lay it on me. What are they up to now?
Well, we'll start off Aki Aki Kai Kai, which is the unit motto in the Māori language. Upwards, upwards, be strong.
Oh, God, and they are. They're always strong.
Oh, yes.
That's kind of their thing.
So, last time they'd been fighting as they pushed into Libya.
Yes.
End of 1941. Well, they got sent off to Syria. Briefly. In that time, you know the Captain Love who was mentioned?
Yes, I remember Love.
Yep. They got promoted to Lieutenant Colonel and placed in charge of the unit.
Good on him.
Becoming the first Maori leader of the unit.
Nice.
Which was a promise that was made when it was set up that they actually kept.
Internal progression. Better than most workplaces I've been in.
So they returned from Syria after a while away, came back in June, so spent about 6 months-ish away.
More like came back into the Dunes.
Yes. One of their... yes, indeed. One of their first engagements when they got back... was the New Zealand 2nd were encircled by the 21st Panzer Division.
Okay.
Only a desperate breakout saved the day. After, do you want to know what tactic was used?
Was it fixed bayonets?
Fixed bayonets. The Maoris led a surprise night attack, breaking the encirclement, leading to a 160-kilometer dash back to the El Alamein line.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Andy, but the Panzers are tanks.
Yes.
And they bayoneted their way around this.
They bayoneted their way out, yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I mean, and it is not broke. So the next 3 months, the battles sort of ebb and flow. It's a bit of a stalemate. The Maori are in reserve at the time and avoid a disaster that hits the New Zealand 2nd, where the 4th and 5th Brigades are destroyed. But Lieutenant Colonel Love was killed by shelling.
Ah, another loss.
Yeah, their officers do not have long shelf lives, unfortunately.
You need to stay up front with your fixed bayonets. That's how you get through the Maoris.
Yeah, but It was now led by Lieutenant Colonel Fred Baker, whose diary we read about the 42nd Street battle.
Yes, I remember Baker, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so presumably he dies very soon.
So in August and September, they're leading successful raids, again, very much the tip of the spear. And during the Second Battle of El Alamein, a thrust that cost the Maori Battalion 100 casualties, including Fred Baker, who was wounded,
Oh, God.
was instrumental in that battle. They basically looped round the line.
Is that the most losses they've had, the most casualties?
In the war so far, yes.
Yes, 100
yes.
That definitely sounds like the most, yeah.
In a single sort of day or engagement
Yeah.
so far. Because it ends about 1,000 are injured by the end of the North Africa campaign.
Oh, wow, so this is a massive
big
chunk. This is
chunk,
a tenth
yeah.
of them, yeah.
But they did a blunt... They helped beat off a German counterattack in Tunisia and were sent to flank and seize a pass. Their objective was somewhere called Point 209 and a foothill that the Maori ended up calling Hikarangi, named after a sacred mountain in New Zealand. Led by Captain Arapeta from the C Company, who were the Cowboys.
Yes.
Yeah. Later seized it on the 26th of March and held it throughout the night against desperate counterattacks from Panzer Grenadiers. The point fell the next day and 231 prisoners were taken. Again, the Maori suffered almost 100 casualties, including 22 dead.
God, so now we're accounting for nearly a quarter of all of their losses.
I think they're starting to become a victim of their own success to a certain level where these guys are known to get results and known to be effective in the thickest of the fighting.
So it's no longer a case of they're a unit that have went above and beyond. Now they're being pushed forward as the forefront
Well, it's
method.
like these guys get results.
Let's push them forward.
And, yeah, so... But one of them does receive the Victoria Cross for this, the first Maori.
What is the criteria for the Victoria
It's
Cross?
very high. I think it's the highest honour.
I was thinking that, yeah.
He got it for bravery and calm under fire and essentially controlling that situation.
Which very much sounds like their wheelhouse. That's very on brand for the Maoris.
Yeah. And now we're up to the final confrontation, major confrontation they had of the North Africa campaign.
Okay.
Which happened on the 20th of April, 1943, at a place called Takaruna. 180-metre high rock fortress held by the enemy on top of a very steep hill bristling with guns and surrounded by landmines.
Okay.
Nevertheless, two sections under the command of Hani Manahani, sorry about the names, guys, they managed to scale one side of the escarpment and gain a foothold at the pinnacle on early dawn. Following heavy shell fire and hand-to-hand fighting against the Italians, they're forced to retreat off the pinnacle of this hill twice, both times regroup and come back. Which ultimately leads to them taking the machine gun and mortar positions, so the Italians on the top of the hill become encircled, because the back position that you'd have to normally go through the whole base to get to, these lads have climbed up the mountain and come in from the back.
Yeah, because they've got bayonets. They need to get real close.
This is a quote from Edwis Dennis Dundlin, Brigadier Major for the New Zealand 2nd. I recall Takaroon and the fierce fighting there. Your battalion suffered heavy casualties, including CEO Charlie Bennett and most of the officers. Yet, as your history records, there were many incredible exploits and bravery and initiative by NCOs and other rank. Surely one of the finest chapters in your proud history. I wrote a citation for a Victoria Cross for Sergeant Mahani, and like the rest of the division, was disgusted when he was rewarded a DCM, Distinguished
Combat Medal?
Yeah, which is still very high, but
not quite the rank of what they were offered.
No. I feel sure that here was an example that even in the realm of bravery, politics played a part, and that the award to Second Lieutenant Nagrimi, who won it previously, only some weeks previously, influenced the final decision. For me, this was confirmed when later, at the sporting club in Cairo, our military secretary, Brigadier Rudd, asked me to tell the story to a senior British general. The general's comment was, what we did was a mistake. So they think they should have. But for whatever reason, politically, he didn't get it.
I wonder what the politics are behind that then.
No, I tried to look into it. I think there's a certain amount of like racism there.
I was expecting it to be that, yeah, unfortunately.
They're one of the most decorated units in the war at this point. And I wonder if there's a certain case of like, there's only 700 of these guys when the unit's like 2 of them getting it. I don't know.
I guess also it depends on who issues these medals.
Yes.
Because depending on the nation that's offering them out.
Yeah.
If it's Britain during the war, how reluctant are they going to be to then pass that on to a division, a group, a battalion that's not actually British?
Yeah. And also, like, the thing to remember with the British as well is they're not as bad as the Nazis by any stretch, but there's a lot of racists in the high-level government positions at this point. Like,
well, yeah.
Who sort of came up during the colonial and World War One.
Well, that's it. You'll have a lot of guys that are... They're born out of World War One.
Yeah.
That's the war that they've rose to prominence in, and now that's another thing though. They also fought alongside other nations in World War One. So what are they fucking playing at?
I mean,
yeah. It's a shame because based on the prowess of these guys, why undercut that?
Yeah, why they should have got it. Like
based on the capability of what we've heard of.
And then here's another quote from the same guy. Finally, in North Africa, and only a few days before the German surrender, a night attack by the 5th Brigade had been successful, except that at daylight, there was a German platoon dug in between 23rd Battalion and 28th Battalion, with apparently plenty of fight left in them. But they were no more than a nuisance, and plans were put in train for a night attack by the 23rd Battalion, preceded by heavy shelling. Then in the afternoon came the surprise, at least at Brigadier HQ, that they had surrendered. Apparently the nearby Maori platoon had got fed up with their sniping and mounted their own attack, and the Germans gave in.
These guys do not quit. They got annoyed, so they went and made them surrender.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Yeah. Give them the medal.
On the 13th of May 1943, Axis resistance in North Africa collapsed, leading to the surrender of 238,000 German and Italian troops. 2 days later, the New Zealanders began the almost 3,000-kilometre trek back to their base in Egypt. 18 months of desert warfare had cemented the Maori battalion's reputation as one of the 8th Army's finest infantry unit, but the cost had been high. 270 men dead, 815 wounded over the course of the conflict. And that's them in North Africa.
What a fucking journey they had.
Yeah. And the conflicts I've like jumped in on, like the climbing this mountain or the 42nd Street, they're like notable moments, but they're not. There's constant fighting in between, constant. Like,
I mean, context as well for the actual in-game mechanics when it comes to escarpments.
Yeah.
They are the worst part of movement.
Oh, yeah.
Because vehicles can't move up them, and infantry units are massively detrimented when they're trying to move around them.
Yeah.
So the fact that these guys scaled one
yes,
to then try and accost the enemy goes to show the kind of cost that they're taking on in terms of maneuverability and tactical placement.
Yeah.
It's not an easy job.
No, not at all.
But these guys are making their way up there to push forward. Start to finish, these guys have showed up. I think, yeah, what you said there about them being a sort of victim of their own success, I think speaks volumes to it. They've come in, they've overperformed massively.
Oh, yeah.
And then they've been burdened with huge undertakings afterwards.
Yeah.
And even with those heavy losses, comparable to, you know, other units, based on the accolades they've got, the stuff they've pulled off, the units they've taken on. Last time we were talking about the fact that you were talking about the The fact they took more prisoners than they actually had men themselves.
Yes.
The logistics of that is insane.
Yes.
These guys, it's a real miscarriage of justice that they did not get the medals that were prescribed to them.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's actually insane.
Yeah, because they gave, like, so much and, like, were so effective. They should have got all the props and more.
Well, if it was down to war with a mate, we'd bloody give it to them.
Yeah.
So let's see how they pan out in our game. Knowing the dice rolls, they'll probably die immediately and history will be rewritten.
And they don't have particularly
like special
any
rules.
special rules or even particularly high. They've got like good close and assault and close defense, but they should probably have a lot more.
I feel like the history segment is just a fun way for you to try and gaslight me into not attacking your units because I've become emotionally attached.
Oh, yeah. Is it working?
I mean, it might. If anything, what I might do is overcommit resources to fight units that aren't technically different. But if that is the end of the Maori for now,
finish them off next week. There's a bit in Italy, and then returning to New Zealand.
Okay, good.
So we'll do a wrap-up episode next week.
Good, because I'm not quite ready to say goodbye yet.
No,
but next week we'll see out their swan song.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's it for them. The Maori in North Africa.
What a bloody group of guys.
Oh yeah. There's also a bit. There was a bit where, because they had 5 companies, they got 4 cases of like mutton birds delivered. So they had a sports contest where each company like gained different points, and the guy just describes it as, I can't remember who didn't end up getting a box in the end, but everyone had so much fun.
These guys love what they do.
Oh yeah,
and they're fucking great at doing it as well. Just fantastic gentlemen. I'm interested to see what the wrap up is, but I will be sad to see them go.
Oh yeah,
I think they've been
a lot of fun.
It might be my favorite history segment so far, and that's. I mean, I think I've said that at the end of every history segment. So,
it's a good sign.
It is. Man, I feel like it's rushing it slightly on the back of that because I don't know if we're giving them enough breathing space, but I've got a train to catch.
You do.
So
hit me with some common ground.
And now for something nicer. A little oasis in the war. It's time for some common ground. I'm trying the intro for common ground. I'm recording it. Maybe. Yeah. I've got some common ground for you, Andy.
Okay.
And it's actually train related.
Oh, okay.
It should be illegal for people to have their conversations on a phone on loudspeaker in public.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you've been on a bus before.
Yes, I think on an early episode, I talked kind of the opposite about this, how I like eavesdropping on people on public transport.
No, I think, you made a good point about this. I remember that vaguely. I was on the bus not too long ago, moving from one place to another, as buses are very good for. And I had the unpleasant experience of somebody talking loudly on their phone on loudspeaker. Now, I would like, and maybe this is a bit facetious, Andy, and I hope this doesn't come across confrontational because you're not the problem by any stretch of the imagination. What is the fucking benefit of speaking on loudspeaker on your phone?
Oh, there is none.
Good, cool. Just so I'm not worried that I'm going crazy.
You have less privacy, but I guess attention.
Right, I guess that's what it is. Why would you do this? Because I don't know, maybe I'm a bit of an introvert when I'm on public transport. I think I am. When I get on the train, when I get on the bus, wherever I'm going, I like to just stick in my headphones and just disappear from the world.
Yes, that's the way to be. It's transit. It's not a gig or like a pub where you socialize. You get on, you sit down, you shut up, and then you get off.
Yeah, you're going from one place to another. It's like you're walking along. I mean, yeah, fair enough. You're walking along. You might give a hello, good morning, as you're walking past someone. That's kind of it. But on the train, you're not passing anyone. On the bus, you're not going past anyone. You're sat there. It's static. The bus is doing the movement, not you. There's no passage of any sort of social norm. It's just stay still.
So you want to make it illegal?
I want to make it an actual crime.
I've got another solution potentially, because I agree this is annoying.
Yeah.
You know, if you had like chewing gum at school and the teacher would be like, I hope you brought enough for everyone. If you're on a speaker, a conversation, there's an implicit understanding you've invited everyone around you to join that conversation.
This is
and
way better.
You have to let them just come up next to you and just like speak into the phone.
That's way better, because what I think would make people deeply uncomfortable and or aggressive is that if someone's on a conversation on speakerphone and the other person says something, it's a funny remark, it's an anecdote that the other person finds quite witty. If they start laughing, you laugh as well.
Yeah.
You just burst out laughing, and they'll give you a bit of a funny look, like, what is he laughing at? What just happened on my phone call?
He's allowed to, because you're on speaker, come over and be like, good one, mate.
I like that as well, especially if it's like a conversation that's specific to them, where they're talking about like a friend, like a mutual friend has had a funny experience, or, oh, Josh is up to this thing again. And then
just go over classic Josh.
And then it's like, what? Do I know you? It's like, no, but
I was invited to this conversation.
You'd think you know me because you're doing this in my fucking space as well, aren't you? You're playing this loudly for me. It's, it's the same way if people play music in a public space. If it's music I enjoy, I'll enjoy hearing it. If it's music I don't enjoy, I'll be upset.
Shut it off.
I'll turn it off immediately. And I think the same thing applies to this.
Yeah.
If you're doing this in my space, doing this on my train, doing this on my bus, I need to have some sort of recompense.
Yeah, because it is the speaker thing that baffles me. Because, like, if someone's loudly talking on the phone, I kind of, like, you are at least just talking into the thing. But if it's, like, you're projecting it out as well.
And I know what the fool's response would be. It's, oh, well, I can hear it better. No, you can't. You're telling me having a phone pressed up against your ear, a device that is designed specifically so you can hear when it's pressed against your ear. You think that's not optimized already? Yeah. You need to try and blare it out loud. And you think, what, that makes it easier to hear? Headphones exist.
Yeah.
If you want to do this, put your headphones in.
Step off the bus.
I've got a very old phone. I've got an iPhone. It's like an iPhone 6 or something, I think I've got.
Yeah.
Or an 8 maybe. My microphone's broke. So I need to have my headphones in order to have a phone conversation.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. I've got my headphones in. I can talk through my headphones. I can hear very clearly. Ideal. If someone's concerned about the quality of conversation they're going to be having in terms of volume, buy headphones.
Oh, it's a solution to a problem that shouldn't exist.
It's not a problem.
Being on speaker. Yeah.
Exactly. You've made a point. It's not a problem whatsoever. It needs to be criminalized.
I think either criminalized or
your suggestion
given
is
your
funnier.
Privacy up so people can just be like, I want to talk to him.
Well, you've recommended a form of vigilante justice that I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
Which is inconveniencing people who are inconveniencing you.
Yeah.
I think it's the purest form of vigilante justice.
It is justice.
If someone's being kind of annoying, be kind of annoying back.
Yes.
Because it's not life or death. And ultimately, you can opt out. If someone's doing that on the train, you can just kind of sit there and go, oh. You can put your headphones in, you can just be annoyed quietly. Or you can go in there, you can think, you know what, if they're going to be loud, I'll be loud back. And I think that's actually the way the world should work in a lot of facets. I think if someone is being disruptive, you have the right to disrupt back.
Yes.
Calm, quiet revolution is what we need. And I think this is the first step. I don't think you should ever have your phone on speaker unless you're doing the dishes and wandering around the house.
Yeah, or you're like 4 people on one end, but then don't do that on the bus.
Exactly. I think it's selfish, it's mean-spirited, it's ignorant. And I think there's a better way to do it. So if anyone out there does that, maybe think it over for a moment. Think about what you're doing to the likes of us, the other people, the people who have to hear the conversation.
And then don't call someone. Instead, play our podcast really loudly on the bus and tell people about it.
More specifically, if you hear someone having a conversation on speaker, play this Common Ground segment on speakerphone. It's the most passive-aggressive thing you could ever do. And we're telling you right now, if this is happening right now and someone is doing this, listener, person who's on speakerphone right now, what are you doing? Think it through. Take stock of your life. Go back.
Be better.
Be better. Be better than this. Be better than us. Be subtle. Be humble. Be brave. Do the right thing.
Get in people's business if you're invited.
Common Ground, of course, is a segment in which we encourage people to start a revolution. But, Andy, I think my revolution, it started when we began playing this game, and it won't end until this game is done. And everyone who listens is part of this small, quiet revolution. This thing was meant to be unfinishable. And here we are in the twilight of Upstage 3 of Turn 1.
Revolting against that.
We go back to it. It's Sisyphus pushing the rock up the hill. That's who we are. The only issue is we know that there's an end to this. We're better than Sisyphus.
I mean, yeah, he had it pretty bad.
He had it bad. We will win.
What did
we
he
must
do?
win. What did he do?
Yeah, why did he get punished like that?
He tricked death. He managed to evade death, and he got a bit of backdoor immortality. So on the back of that, the punishment is we'll do this forever. And when we were cursed with backdoor immortality, we were cursed with playing the campaign for North Africa.
What an evil sorcerer put this curse on us.
Yeah, Warlock Berg. Well, everybody who's listening tonight, again, I always say tonight as if it's this time for everybody. It's dark outside for us. But if you're listening right now, wherever you are, whether it's early morning, late in the evening, you've been part of War with a Mate, episode 34 this one will be.
Yes.
And the end it's so far on the horizon that this is essentially forever. So tune in next time, and until then, send everything you can if you've got anything to say.
info@warwithmate.co.uk for the email.
The Instagram is just War with a Mate, and warwithamate.co.uk is the website. And we wish you well. If you're going through an endeavour of your own, or if you have any questions, send them over. But we are done. I'm tired. I'm tired is what I am. I'm ready to go to bed. I had a few drinks at work before this. I've had a few drinks during the recording, and my goodness, it's time for sleep, and I hope I catch that train.
Stay subtle, humble, and brave, guys. Thanks for listening.
And good bloody night.